Hello friends, today I'm back with an art journal video. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any upcoming videos. Let's get started. I am working in my new Dina Wakely art journal. If you have not seen my mixed media art journal haul, I'll pop it up above so you guys can check that out. I am using a lot of products from that haul video. So I would love for you to watch that video and see those products. I will also have the products linked below so you can get your hands on these products if you would like to play with some of them. Also, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you like art journal videos. You giving me a thumbs up really helps my YouTube channel grow, so I really appreciate your support there. So I am starting with some collage paper from Tim Holtz. This collage paper is on a roll, which I actually really like. And the name of this one that I'm using is Typeset Composer. And I'm using some matte medium gel and rubber spatula here. I'm using the small spatula that I have. And I am gluing this down, and what this does is it seals the layer. So I'm only doing this just to have a little bit of background behind my art journal page and behind the paints that I'm going to be using. And you're really not going to be able to see a whole lot of it, but it just adds a nice texture layer kind of behind the paints. And you'll see here in a minute what I mean. So I did dry it with a heat tool to make sure that it's all dry before I move on to my next layer. You definitely want to make sure that you're drying between layers so everything just mixes better and it's not all sticky and all of that. So I am going in with the first color that I'm going to be using, which is Dina Wakely's acrylic paint in the color Marine. And this color is so pretty, y'all. I want to go ahead and say that I did not gesso the page. These art journal pages in this art journal are they have so much texture and I love it. However, to get these paints to move around the page, I did need to use some water and thin the paint out a little bit. You can see where I first put the paint on at the edge of the page, how it's really, really dark right there. It's because I just went in with straight paint and no water. And you can see that it definitely just kind of like soaked right into the page. And there was wasn't moving. So I'm just using my finger and mixing the paint with the water, and I'm going to go back and forth like this and until I get the right consistency and the color, the coverage and color that I want. And I'm just going all the way across that page. These Dina Wakely clips are perfect for keeping everything nice and flat, and I'm really loving these. These I also just got in my mixed media haul. So I am loving these now that I have those. I did put a piece of paper towel between each of the pages so I don't run over onto other pages. Some people use a sheet of paper. You can use whatever. You can use scrap paper. And I absolutely love the way that this paint works. This paint is just, it's just a really good paint. I like it so much. I do prefer to mix it with a little bit of water, like I said, especially if I'm using my fingers. And I just going back and forth. That's all I'm doing. There's really no right or wrong to do here, or right or wrong way to do this. Art journaling for me is very therapeutic and it's very intuitive. I'm just playing. I have no idea what I was going to do when I sat down. I just pulled a couple colors that I wanted to work with of paints and sat down with a couple limited supplies. I think that is one thing that makes it a little bit more easy for me and a little more intuitive. I can just use kind of what's speaking to me or what I think needs to be on the page. And that's kind of how I've been doing art journaling. So if you have not checked out my Patreon, I would love for you all to check that out. I will have it linked below. Last week I posted an art journal page over there on my Patreon page, and I love the way that it came together. It was something completely different than what I've ever done, and I'm really happy with that. So if you would like to check that out and lots of other things, that you get lots of other benefits from becoming a Patreon or a patron. It's just like a membership, and each month you just get extra things from me, extra videos, Facebook group, and just a whole bunch of extra content and sneak peeks from my projects, my upcoming projects. So I would love to have you check that out. So now I'm going in with a much darker blue. This blue is called Night, and it is a very, very deep, dark navy blue, but it definitely has some purple undertones in it. You can kind of see when I mix it with the water how it definitely has like a purple undertone to it. And I just love the way that this looks. The reason why I brought this color in was just to add some dimension and to add some shadows and to just add this deeper and darker color. I just really love the way that it looks. And now you can see the collage paper from behind. And you can see that it's just adding a little something. You really don't see every single bit of it, at least not on this spread. But I really like the way that it looks, and I like the added dimension and texture that it adds to the layout. So here I'm going to take one of my other art journals, and I'm going to take a blank page and some packaging and do the packaging technique on a page. And this is just starting another page for me. Usually I would just wipe up the paint with a paper towel, but there was a lot of extra paint left over here. So I decided to just go ahead and put that on another page. And that is one way that you can start an art journal page. If you are wondering like, where the heck do I start? You can just start just like that. Or you can just start like I did with this one and just use your fingers and throw some paint on the page. And make sure, like I said, you're drying between your layers. And I also did splatters with both colors. So I just added a lot more water to the paint and mixed it with a paintbrush. I like to use a round paintbrush when I do my splatters. I like the way that it looks. And so that is what I did. And now I'm going in with a stamp. Now, you're not going to be able to see this stamp very well once it dries because it is a really dark background. But I'm okay with that. I prefer it like that, with at least for this one. You can see it in person, and you can actually see it pretty well on camera. But I just like, again, the texture that it adds and another layer. So here we are, gonna go in with another layer and another different kind of texture. I am still using the Dina Wakely paints, and this one is Rosy, and it is a metallic rose gold. Y'all, this paint is so pretty. I can't wait to use it in a different kind of way and just use it with like my fingers or a paintbrush and maybe not over top of a dark color. It's just so pretty. So I'm just taking this stencil from Vicki Boutin and using like a sponge dauber. You can use like makeup sponges. These are, I believe, from Spectrum Noir. And I'm just kind of going over some spots with the paint and the sponge, and I love this. It did mess up several times on the left side just because it's not laying as flat as the right side, because it's the beginning of an art journal. It's like the third page in, so it's not far along, so there's not a lot of pages underneath of it to give it stability. So you'll see here in a minute where I'm going to try to fix that mistake of the paint kind of smearing. And then I just went in with some Nuvo Sparkle Spray in the color Blush Burst, and it is a rose gold as well. And y'all, it is so pretty. It just added these really pretty shimmer, or this really pretty shimmer, and I love it against the dark background, and I like it against the white space. I just really think it's pretty. So I am going over those stars that I messed up with with my black Pitt pen and just kind of tracing around them. So I only messed up on the right side, but because I wanted it to kind of look balanced, I went ahead and traced some of the stars on the right side, even though they weren't messed up at all. I just wanted it to look balanced. And so I'm just outlining some of those stars, not every single one of them, just a couple. And then I am so excited. I love the way that this looks. There's lots of sparkle, of course, and I love that. It makes me happy. And art journaling is for sure definitely been very, very good for me recently, and it's been helpful to me. And so I hope that my art journal pages are helpful to you, and I encourage you to sit down and play with your products. So I'm using some tiny word stickers from the Tim Holtz sticker book, one that says start doing things you love and then live your dream with passion. And then I'm just going to go around with my white Pitt pen and add some white dots in groups of 3. And I also am going to end up tracing around those words to kind of make them pop off the page just a little bit more. And then off camera, I decided to add a die cut piece that says wonderful, and it's in a rose gold color. And those will be in the close-up pictures at the end, so stay tuned to watch those. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and leave me a comment down below and let me know what your favorite paint is. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to spread love and be kind. I hope that you all have an amazing day. Bye.